Hello Golden Jobbers! Welcome back to my channel. This is Sir Job and welcome to Sir Job TV. Sa tanang taga Butuan City ginagtanaw karon sa akong YouTube channel, maayong buntag kaninyong tanan. And to all the people who are watching from Luzon, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. And to everybody in the world who can speak English, good morning ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my channel. That you are in a good condition together with your family and your friends, and you are happy right now while you are watching my video. And to everyone who are loyal to my YouTube channel, who are kept on watching my videos, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. So for today's vlog, I prepared another wonderful topic, meaningful discussion that we are going to dissect at this very moment. So the topic for today's vlog is what hinders Filipinos to write and speak better in English language. This is my vlog number 19. So are you excited to learn about this one? Okay, first thing is we have to trace back the historical background of English language in the country. So basically, historically speaking, English language was introduced to the Filipinos during the American occupation in the country. I know that you already encountered this one as your history professor discusses to you about the American occupation in the country. Note that when they invaded Philippines way back 1898, they used education as a tool to successfully subjugate the archipelago. Correct. That is the way of the Americans to finally invade and subjugate the entire country, and even to control the entire archipelago. That's one thing that they used. So in line with the program Free Education, English was used as a medium of instruction. So basically, the explanation, the discussion with the Thomasites as our first teachers, they used English as a medium of instruction. So in daily conversation, that was 1898 going back when English language was introduced to the Filipinos. Because remember, if the Spaniards used force to control the entire archipelago, now the Americans used another way of controlling the people, and that was the introduction of education, or the free education to be exact, with English as medium of instruction. However, as per observation in the status quo, many Filipinos find it difficult to articulate English language. So what's wrong with the Filipinos right now? Why is it that it's very difficult for us to speak English, to use English in communication, in written, whatever? But going back to our grandfather, grandmother, if you take note of them, maliit lang po yung pag-aralan na they have less when it comes to educational attainment, right? But they can communicate with us in good English. So what's wrong really with the Filipinos right now at this generation talking about? So for today's video, we will answer the question, what hinders Filipinos to write and speak better in English language? Ano ang mga rason? Bakit naging mahirap sa atin na i-develop sa ating mga sarili ang pag-speak and pagsulat or paggamit ng English language when this language was introduced to us way back 1898. So ang tagal na po, it's been a century, it's more than a century. But why is it when it comes to the development, it's really hard for us to develop English language in the first place? So number one reason is Filipinos have no constant exposure to English language. Filipinos have no constant exposure to English language. So let's take a look with an example. At home, for example, at home, majority of parents and other members of the family are not speaking the language English. So basically, it depends upon the situation. Good for you if you have a professional family, for example, you have your mother, you have your father who are speaking English language. So the development of a child also in the language is very good. However, for those family which is majority of the Filipinos na hindi talaga ginagamit ang English in daily conversation, so that's one thing. Wala tayong constant exposure sa English language in the first place. Secondly, in school, there is no strict implementation on the use of English language. Agree? Do you agree with me? There's no strict implementation because even in English subjects, we are not it's not mandatory in talking. Hindi po mandatory na talagang magsalita tayo ng English. We saw a lot of signs in school, speak English, but we are not actually practicing the acquisition of English language in daily conversation in school. Okay? With our friends, another area of circle, with our friends, with our peers, much more that we are not using English language in our conversation. Of course, when you are talking with your friends, when you are talking with your classmates, when you are talking with your peers, you will just have to go with your vernacular or whatever it is, or what language you are comfortable in talking in the first place. So basically, that's one of the things. We have no constant exposure to English language. That's number one. Second is Filipinos are too conscious about grammar. Do you agree with me? Filipinos are too conscious with grammar. So basically, we are more focused on the rules of subject-verb agreement, the tenses of verb, the singular versus plural of the verb. So basically, as a speaker or as a writer, for example, when you publish something, like for example, you are speaking in front of the camera, just like now, I'm doing a vlog, and then I have to post it. This video will be posted or will be published on my YouTube channel. So thank you for those people who will watch this video because they want to learn something about this topic. Because 90% or 80% of the viewers, they would like to click the link because they want to correct at some point, or they want to check if your grammar is correct, if the tenses of verb are being used correctly, or the singular and plural of the verb is being applied in the very first place. So that's the usual problem of the Filipinos when it comes to the acquisition of English language. We are too conscious about grammar. Third, Filipinos are too particular with pronunciation and diction. Correct. Filipinos are too particular with pronunciation and diction. Do you agree with me? We want to sound like an Americans, Australians, or British people. Hello, wake up everyone. We are not Americans, we are not Canadians, we are not Australians, we are Filipinos. So in acquiring English language, we have our own way of pronouncing the words, diba? But Filipinos are more on pronunciation and diction. They usually have to laugh at you. They usually have to check it if you pronounce the words correctly as pattern with the other country. So number 4 is Filipinos have derogatory connotation when somebody is speaking English language. Do you agree with me? When somebody is using English language, when somebody is speaking English language, for instance, some of us would usually tag that person as boastful, for example. Ang taas ng pride, hambog, no? Medyo mataas ang tingin sa sarili. That's usually the connotation of the Filipinos to somebody else na nagsasalita ng English in a conversation, for example. Like for instance, that person is riding a public vehicle, for instance, and then nagbayad siya ngayon, and then she's speaking English and paying or conversing with his friends inside that particular vehicle. So iba po ang tingin ng mga tao sa kanya while she was using the English language. So that's basically one of the factors. Next, we usually consider the person as hindi nationalistic. Not nationalistic or not patriotic in a sense if he or she is actually speaking or using English language for daily conversation. So that's basically difficult for everybody who wants to be developed in English language, living in a world na ganito po yung restrictions natin. So let us analyze the situation. Let us identify the problem. What really hinders Filipinos to develop English language within ourselves, basically. So let us understand the role of language. Note that language is part of culture. Do you agree with me? Language is part of culture, and it is only a vehicle or an agent for everyone to communicate, correct? So meaning to say, in order for us to understand, especially other nationalities from around the world, then we should know how to speak English. And it is also in our advantage if we are going to develop the speaking English or the development of English language within us, because this is a universal language. I'm talking with, yes, hindi siya ginagamit ng buong mundo, but everyone can understand, almost everyone can understand English language from the rest of the world. That's very important. It's our advantage, and hopefully mawala na yung restriction from the society in using English language for daily conversation. So that's the thing. Okay, secondly, when we speak of culture, the characteristic of culture is can be learned, can be acquired, and can be shared. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Meaning to say, a language can be learned and also can be acquired by anybody. So it depends upon how we expose ourselves to that language in order for us to be developed. Because accordingly, on the strategy of 2080 in teaching, I'm talking, for example, the 20% should be used only in learning. What I mean, when we speak of 20% learning, that means to say that you only have to learn the techniques of the language, everything about the language, the technicalities. Then right after learning, okay, that's 20% only. So right after learning, you have to acquire. In order for you to acquire the language, you have to use the language for daily conversation. So that's basically one of the most important that we have to take note as we go along with embracing or with the appreciation or the acquisition of English language in general. Okay, so what is really the message of this video to everybody? Okay, my point is learning the language is not enough. Okay, learning the language is not enough. You need to acquire the language and share it to others. So meaning to say, I hope that one day we have to create an environment wherein everybody can speak English free without judgments from other people, because by then we could be able to develop English language within ourselves. Like for example, Filipinos who stayed in America for a couple of years, but in a few months of staying there, they already developed English language. Why? Because they speak the word, they speak the language without judgment or without thinking about the grammar, about the pronunciation, about the diction, and everything else na mga technicalities na usually nating ino-observe sa ating mga speakers and mga writers na ating mga binabasa. So now is really the time for us to end up that connotation, to end up that particular practice of the Filipinos. Let's give people an opportunity to learn English in a free manner. Let's give them the chance to be developed in this particular language. Because again, as I said, learning English language is our advantage, specifically in connecting from the rest of the globe. So I hope that for those who are watching right now, who find it difficult to learn and to acquire English language, the best thing that you need to do is to use English language in oral and in written communication. Whatever it may be, hindi ka pa perfect ngayon, but at the end of the road, if you keep on using English language for daily conversation, you will become something else, the best speaker in the world. I should have to say that. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something from this video, and I hope that you will that you will also share this video to your friends. And if ever you have something to add from my discussion for this vlog, you may comment below or you may give leave your suggestion, whatever. Just give your comment or suggestion below this particular video. Thank you so much for giving your time of watching this particular video. Bye bye.